Hello guys, good morning. Today we are going to cover in this video very important topic, wall inspections and testing. This wall inspection is the based on the API 598. We are going to cover cell test, backsheet and closure and DBB test, and about process durations, leakage rate. So what is the API 598? API 598, it defines inspection, examination and pressure test requirement for the industrial valves and make sure every valve is that leak tight and structurally sound before it's shipped. So we are going to cover valve type, gate valve, globe valve, plug valve, ball valve, check valve and butterfly. So how many type or the seat types? There is a 3 type: resilient, which is called soft seat, metal to metal seat and non-metallic seat, which non-metallic made by ceramic. And their key factors like supplementary API standards, reference also be covered 599, 600, API 602, 608 and 609. Testing done by manufacturer at their plant or mutually agreed any other facility. Then purchaser can witness the test in person or remote audio and set pass or fail leakage limit for every test. So 7 test and examination: cell test, which we check in this cell test, validate the strength and soundness of the pressure containing body. Second is the backseat test, which we checks leakage past the stem and shaft to bonnet seal. Low pressure closure, we check here air and gas test for the seat at 5.5 bar or 80 psi. Fourth is the high pressure closure test, which we check the seat test at 1.1 times of the rated pressure. DBB closure test, which DBB we call as the double block and bleed, and here we check for the successive or the simultaneous. Visual caustic exam, for it is the basically based on the MSS SP55 on body, bonnets and cover. HP pneumatic cell, HP stand for high pressure, which is the option air cell test at 1.1 times of the maximum allowable working pressure. Each valve is the tested to written procedures that must be comply with the API 598 standard. Which tests are the required? As you can see in this table, test, if you see the cell test and type of the valves, gate valves is mandatory, globe valve is also mandatory, plug valve yes mandatory, ball valve, check valve and butterfly, all are the required to do the cell test. Backseat test are the required only for the gate and globe valve. Low pressure closure test based on the size and class, and check valve low pressure test is the required. Butterfly also based on the size and class. High pressure closure for the gate valve, globe valve, plug valve, ball valve based on the size and class. For the check valve is also required, and butterfly also based on the size and class. Now if you see the test pressure and the glance, Cell test, we need to perform 1.5 times of the wall pressure rating at 38 degree centigrade or 100 degree Fahrenheit, rounded up to next bar. High pressure closure test, we perform 1.1 times of the maximum allowable pressure. Temperature must be 38 degree centigrade or 100 degree Fahrenheit as per purchase specification. Low pressure closure test, we perform on 5.5 bar and 80 psi plus minus 1.5 bar or plus minus 20 psi. What will be the medium for this testing? Air, nitrogen or inert gas we will use as a medium. High pressure pneumatic cell, which we perform on 1.1 times of the maximum allowable pressure and temperature also should be 38 degrees centigrade. It perform after the hydrostatic cell test. If you see the maximum duration for this test, for the cell, required pressure must be held at least these times. Larger balls need holder longer. So, if you see for less than 2 inch minimum 15 second, 2.5 inch to 6 inch minimum 60 second, 8 inch to 12 inch 120 second, and 14 to 24 300 second, and greater than 24 inch 600 second. Other durations are also listed. Back seat like 15 to 120 second by size. Closure for the small valves 15 second. Closure for other valve per seat direction. Check valve closure 60 to 240 second. And double block pitch simultaneous 2 into 2 times of the normal durations. Allowable leakage rate. So, regular seated valve is a 0, no visible leak is permitted for full test duration. Metal seated board allowed, limited drop or minimum or bubble is the minimum scale by the valve size. Cell and back seat is also 0, there is no leakage allowed, no visibly detectable leakage through pressure boundary. How metal seat limit the work? Scale with the size, larger volume, larger valve, higher allowable leak, which is the approx 8 drops per minute, like at 4 inch. Liquid and gas, 1 ml is equal to 16 drop liquid and 1 ml is equal to 100 bubbles for the gas when medium be used as a gas. Bore independent, rates are based on the size of the valve. Approved test fluids like cell, high pressure back seat and high pressure closure test. Water or non corrosive liquid, kerosene, air, nitrogen or inert gas, and fluid temperature should be 5 degree to 38 degree centigrade or 41 degree Fahrenheit to 100 degree Fahrenheit. Low pressure closure or low pressure back seat test. Medium be use air, nitrogen, air gas, inert gas or gas only, no liquid permit. Watch out for the stainless steel. A stainless steel valve test water chloride content must not exceed the 50 ppm. Water may contain corrosive inhibitor, wetting agent or antifreeze added when specified. Bichloride content is the limits are the mandatory because it's susceptible to the corrosion if that's polluted water. So, we need to make sure water is in good condition and it meets the chloride content requirement. So, we need to check the water test. Key procedures and rules, which no masking coating, coating should be not there, paint or coating that hide the defect must not be applied before testing. Free of trapped air, When liquid is the test fluid must be essentially air free. Don't overforce closure. Excessive closing force is not allowed. Stay within the documented limit. HP before low pressure closure. Do the high pressure closure test before then low pressure. Backseat test when B check in the condition of the valve open. Apply pressure with the valve fully open and packing gland loose. Regarding DBB drain at the bottom, bleed cavity through bottom opening. Position G H per ASME B16.34. Certifications. Certificate of compliance issued when specified in the purchase order. Retesting not required unless purchase inspections is specified. May be waive off or written certifications and material test report. Three things we need to remember. Cell test prove the strength. Closure and backseat test prove the tightness. Pressure for the cell 1.5 times of rating, and high pressure closure 1.1 times of the design pressure, and low pressure is the 5.5 bar. Resilient sheet, 0 leaks, and metal sheet get size scale allowable.